So on this assignment, it's just extension from yesterday. Please remember that direct variation really means what? Proportional. To be proportional, it must pass through. That means it's showing direct variation. It also means that it has a constant of variation, also known as the slope, but it is specific. Those words are specific to when it's proportional, meaning the plus b will always be 0. So it'll be y equals kx with no plus b, or plus 0. Plus 0 is fine. Okay, on 1 through 3, it's actually 1 through 6 because you see that they repeat. The constant and the slope are the exact same. Did y'all hear me? The constant and the slope are the exact same. So once you find the slope, you found the constant. You're just going to write your answer twice. Okay? Will it have an x attached to it? No. If you put an x attached to it, it is wrong. This number right here is the constant and the slope. It is not the x. If you put an x next to it, you're changing the value because you're saying take the number and multiply by something. That's the equation. That's not the slope, okay? Go down to the bottom. You're going to graph these equations. What are they all going to pass through? 0, 0. If you need to extend the graph, you can. Flip to the back. These are the ones I did not teach yesterday, so I'm going to do an example of one, and you've been doing these since 6th grade. Okay? When you have a proportional situation, and they give you 3 numbers, and they're asking for a 4th number, what do? You make a, it's like a table, but it's called a box, right? Y'all remember this? I think your teachers in 6th and 7th grade would tell you to make a box. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a box, and you can literally do it like this. You don't have to go draw the whole box. And the biggest thing you need to know for these is that you have to label. If you don't label, you're going to mix them up. So what are we comparing here? Y and what always goes on top? Y. So I'm going to put Y on top and X on bottom. And I'm basically going to make a proportional box. So it says if y is 7.5, so where would I put 7.5? Right here up top. When x is 0.5, so where's that going to go? Right here. It says find y, so I'm going to find y when x is negative 0.3. How do you solve a proportional box? Cross multiply, then divide. You're actually setting up an algebraic equation. Now, for my regular math students, what I tell them to do is cross multiply and divide by the leftover number, which is absolutely correct. But just so y'all know, you're actually cross multiplying and setting up an equation. So you're doing 0.5 times y equals 7.5 times negative 0.3, which I need my calculator to do that one. 7.5 times negative 0.3, which I'm in scientific notation. Okay, which is negative 2.25. So you see how you're really just cross multiplying and then you're going to end up dividing by 0.5 in the equation, right? So I'm going to divide by 0.5. If you don't want to show this step, you really don't have to. I just want you to understand what you're actually doing. You're making an equation. So negative 2.25 divided by 0.5 is negative 4.5. And that's the answer. Y'all got it, right? I don't need to do more. Y'all done this in 6th grade. Okay, please, please, please make sure you label. That's the biggest part where students mess up. Okay, go to number 16. It tells you it varies directly, and anytime you see the words varies directly, what does it mean? It is proportional. So if it gives you 2 numbers, how can you find the constant? What did I teach y'all yesterday? Divide. What has to be divided though? Y over then you can take that number to make the equation. So you're looking for y equals something times x. This is the number that you're going to get when you divide y over x. Then you can take that equation and you can solve for the cost of 4.5 pounds of bananas. So 2 answers, yes? Then when you get to this page, you're just going to make your equations based off the words. So this says the width of a rectangle is, so how would I write the width is? W equals 2/3 of the length. 2/3 out. So that would be your equation right here. Then you would graph the equation. So what's the y-intercept? 0. The rise over run is 2/3. Now, if you ever get to a crazy graph that's counting by weird stuff and you're struggling with rise over run, could you just use your y equals button? So I could always go to y equals, as long as it says y equals, and I could type in 2/3 times x and go to my table, and then these are the coordinates that I'm going to graph. Personally speaking, I wouldn't graph 1 2/3. I would graph 0 0, 3 2. You see what I'm saying? 6 4. I would use those integers. I wouldn't want to do those decimals. Okay. All right. So that's how you're going to do this whole paper. You have the whole class period, so please try to get it done before you leave today.